Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, and on this channel we talk all things cash stuffing and cash budgeting. And in today's episode, we are going to do the long-awaited walkthrough of my favorite budgeting app called You Need a Budget. So here we are on the home screen of You Need a Budget. And if you bear with me in this video, I will take you through and show you how I like to use it and why it's a great supplement to the cash stuffing system. So grab some tea, grab some coffee, grab your favorite beverage, and let's get started. Okay, so here we are. We are talking about You Need a Budget, aka YNAB. Officially gonna walk you guys through why I love this app so much and kind of take you through how it works, how you can start your free trial, what you get out of this, etc. So this is the YNAB main page. It's just ynab.com. And you can see I have like a lot of bookmarks and stuff like that. But let's ignore that for now. Let's just focus on YNAB. So in YNAB, it even says here, it is pronounced YNAB. You can start a free trial. You can also start your free trial from the link in my description of every video. I have a link there that I believe the way it works is if you get your free trial, it's 34 days for free. If you subscribe, I believe if you follow my link, you get 1 month for free, additional to the 34 days that you get for free just from doing a free trial. I learned get 1 month for free if you subscribe. So that is really cool because I'm always looking to save money. I did get somebody who used my link to start their free trial the other day, so that was fun. So click on start your free trial. You will create your account, email, password, etc. It says here the average YNABber saves $600 in their first month, and you seem above average, honestly. So for pricing, the annual plan is $109 paid annually. They say here that's 30 cents a day. It's about $9 a month compared if you pay monthly, that's $14.99 a month. And that's in US dollars for the Americans here in the channel. You also have to pay tax. So, and one of the things that I really like honestly about this is that you don't have to sign up with a credit card to do the free trial, because a lot of times you have to add your credit card so that they can charge you after. This is truly a try this, and if you don't like it, you don't have to pay. So I've already logged in over here on this. This is a clean version of the You Need a Budget app. I'm going to keep calling it YNAB. So I created this page specifically for Rachel Nori, the channel. I just realized you can see my actual email there. So, oops. But this is what it looks like. These are categories. You have the plan, reflect, and all accounts section. The plan is where you get to see what your category groups are. Category groups are basically your binders, and your individual categories are your envelopes. This comes, the way it shows up right here is how it comes automatically. I did not add or create anything. They give you a starting point basically with some basic bills and basic binders and envelopes that most people are probably going to use. So you get this. This is where you're going to, when you assign your money is going to be, so let's say you get a check of $1,000. You are going to enter in your $1,000 check. It's going to show up here at the top. And then from there, you allot your money per category or category group down the line, or however you want. In Reflect, this is how you get to see your spending breakdown, their spending trends, net worth, your income versus expenses, and the age of your money. So, age of your money is how long on average your money sits on the account between earning it and spending it. So, for example, I think on my personal account, the age of my money is like 30 days, 34 days or something like that. Because on average, we spend all of our money, besides what we put in savings, we spend all of our income within the month because, you know, you're paying your bills and you're eating out and you are doing your savings and all of that stuff. So I think my average is about 30 days. But for some people, the goal is to get a long age of money because that shows that you are keeping more money than you are spending. But this is a great tool to see just your trends in how you spend your money. And then you have the all accounts section. This is where you see every single account that you add between your bank account, your credit cards, your debit cards, your high yield savings account, other savings accounts. This basically condenses everything into one view, and you will get to see the spending of every line item that you spend. So it'll show the account that it came from, the date of the expenditure, who you paid, whether that's like, let's say you went to Wendy's, that would show up here. Wendy's is a dine out category for me, so it would show up as dine out. You can leave a little memo note to explain what that transaction was. So maybe you bought Wendy's while hanging out with the family. You put like with family or whatever it is that you want to put. The outflow is the cost of something. So if you are paying for something, that is outflow money. If you are receiving money like a paycheck or somebody paid you back for something, that is inflow. And then there's this little C column that you check off whether a transaction has cleared in your account. So a lot of times the transaction pens for a few days, and then you can come back and check over here that it's cleared or not. So that is what this page looks like. And then to start planning, add an account. So when you click on add account, you have a few options. You can search for your financial institute. And let's say, so I'm a Bank of America customer. So if I click on Bank of America, it takes a few minutes to load. YNAB uses Plaid to connect your account. So this is part of my phone number. You can continue or you can continue as guest, but this will, let me back up a little bit. Yes, I want to exit. I'm kind of afraid of showing, if I continue, it'll show like more personal information and I don't want to have to bleep that out. But if you go through the search for your financial institute option, this will link create a link between YNAB and your account, whatever account it is that you're linking, so that as updates come into your account, it will over time update in YNAB. Or you can add an unlinked account where it doesn't automatically update YNAB. I personally prefer to add an unlinked account because it takes 1 to 2, maybe 3 days for a transaction that shows up in your checking, savings, or credit/debit card transactions. If you do it the linked way, it can take a few days. Usually it's next day or maybe at the end of the day if it's an early transaction. But I check YNAB every day, multiple times a day. And so I don't personally like having to wait for that transaction to finally hit YNAB. So I manually bring over every transaction. So for example, if I click on add unlinked account, I can do, so I'm going to call this checking. And then it has an option for you to select what type of account you're adding. Select account type. You have your cash accounts. So these are where you already own cash. Your checking, your savings, or physical cash amounts. You have credit accounts like credit card or a line of credit. You have your mortgages and loans, and it has some basic options over here, and then other debt if it doesn't fit within these options. And then tracking accounts such as investments or I guess loans. I guess these are liability loans. So for this example, we're going to select checking account. And let's say that our checking account just has a $0 balance. We're starting with a brand new checking account that we just opened in a bank. So I'll put like BOA, Bank of America check. Actually, no, I won't. I lie. Let's keep this generic. And then you're going to hit next and it's going to load. It says add transactions on the web or in our mobile apps. You can also download a transaction file from the Institute and file-based import. So you click done, and now here under your cash account section, it created a new section for cash and it has your checking account. It says the date, the starting balance, and it says inflow ready to assign because your starting balance is considered inflow money. And it put $0 as your inflow because we put that there's a $0 balance. So you can still link your account to a financial institution even if you created it manually. There is that option. You can import a file from a bank file if you want to import multiple transactions at once. Or you can do what I do, which is manually add the transaction. When you click on add transaction, it'll bring up a little calendar. So I'm going to click on today's date, which is June 20th. I'm going to put the payee as employer. So whoever your employer is. Now it automatically brings me to category. I can create a new category if I want, or I can select from the predefined list of whatever is already there or whatever I may have manually created. And then if whatever you are spending or inputting actually splits between multiple categories, you can do that too. So this is what it looks like when you click on split within multiple categories. But let's cancel that for now. Let's go back. So the 20th employer, this is going to create employer as a payee. And then down here, you can manage your payees. These are the people or businesses that you pay. I'm going to say that this is a ready to assign. So this is income that we're making in this example. And I'll just make a memo that this is income. And we're going to pretend that we're making $1,000 from this paycheck. You can click on save and that'll just save the line, or you can save and add another. So if you have another transaction that you want to add, it automatically creates that line for you and you go from there. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this because we don't need it. So here, notice that the C over here is blank. That's because I have not marked this as a cleared transaction. It could be still pending from my employer and it hasn't come in yet. For this example, I'm going to say, and then actually, let me back up a step. So if it has not cleared, it's going to show up over here, $0 in cleared balance because we started with $0 plus $1,000 in uncleared balance. You have $1,000 of working balance to work with. If you mark this as cleared, it's going to swap this. It'll still have your $1,000 working balance because that's what you have in your checking, but it's going to show $1,000 cleared balance plus $0 uncleared because now everything is cleared. So now it shows here your checking has $1,000. Now this is where the magic happens, guys. You inputted your check, you go to plan. This is where your $1,000 is ready to assign. So when you click on assign, you have the option of auto or manual. Auto is based on, whatever you assigned last month, what your spent last month average was, your average assigned, your average spent. it basically thinks about it for you, and it calculates what your averages are, and it remembers what you spend on the regular, and then you can assign it like that. Or if you don't want to worry about that, you can click on manual and be like, you know what, I want to assign today $500 to my rent/mortgage. And then you click assign, and now it removed $500 from here, and it added $500 to your rent/mortgage. So let's say that your average rent or mortgage is $2,000 for the month. So for all of June, and you can see here, if you click here, it has the different months that you can scroll through. This is going to show all of your monies for June, and then any rollover into July will show up here as well. And then if you backspace, May, we had no money, so this is blank. So if you need to calculate how much money you have that you need for the month for a particular category, and let's say that you need $2,000 a month for your mortgage, you can actually, where do I do this? Assign last month, spent. Oh, I need to click on it. Haha. So you can create a target of how much money you need for the month. So create a target. I need monthly $2,000 by the first of the month. So next month I need to assign another $2,000. So if you save your target, it'll say here, it'll turn this kind of this yellow orange color because you don't yet have the full amount of money that you need. So you're not green. And it says that you need $1,500 more by the first. So then let's say that you get another paycheck. I'm going to add a transaction, $20 from my employer. I'm going to add $2,000 this time. Clear it. Plan. Now we have $2,500 to work with. I can click on rent/mortgage, and either from the assign auto, I can click on underfunded, and it'll automatically understand that I'm missing $1,500 for that month to make it to reach my target goal. Or I can come here to the auto assign. These options are on the side over here. I can click on underfunded. If I click on underfunded, it'll automatically calculate, and it'll say, okay, now we're at 2,000. We are funded. We have 11,000. Whew, I wish $1,000 left in order to spread out between our other categories. Now, let's say that you put, $200 towards groceries. So $200 towards groceries. I'm going to assign that. Let's go back to the checking account. Now we're going to add a spend. So we've done the inflow. Now let's add a spend transaction. So we're going to add a spend on the 20th. I'm going to call it grocery store. We went to the grocery store. We have $200 saved for groceries. So, but let's say that we spend $250 this month on groceries. Wrong category. I got to choose a category here. Groceries. Let's say that we spent $250 in groceries. We're going to save. I'm going to clear it just out of habit. We're going to go to plan, and now it's going to say here in red, you have one overspent category. And it's going to show you in red that you overspent $250 out of the $200. So you are negative $50. If you want to cover this $50 with the money from the assigned category, or let's say that you have $100 in, what's it called? Eating out. So you overspent in groceries, you have $100 in eating out. You're like, you know what? I don't want to take from my ready to assign. I don't want to take from my mortgage. I'm going to take from a less important category. You can click on the -50, cover overspending from, and then it lists the categories that you have money in. Cover that $50 from eating out. Click OK. And it'll automatically zero out what you owed and remove that $50 from eating out. Now you only have $50 in eating out to spend for the rest of the month, or whatever it is, your paycheck, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is that whatever cadence you follow. So that is how you do a transaction. Now, let us create a category group. So a lot of us have variable expenses, if I can spell correctly. So you click on category group, name it what you want. You can call it variable expenses. Click OK. Now this goes to the top. You can move this around as you please to wherever section you want. I'm going to move it under bills. And I don't have anything in there yet, but there's a little plus sign that you can add your category. So car stuff is a category that I add to variable expenses. You can also move, instead of having a frequent category, I'm going to move eating out up into variable expenses. You can move it around, put it in any category group that you want. Groceries is coming up here. My household category is coming in here. I'm going to move it under groceries, and then pets and my miscellaneous. So these are the ones that I have in my variable expense binder. You can collapse these so you don't see them. And so these are, and then you can also rename them. So this is originally named Dine Out. If you click on it, you can hide it, you can delete it, or you can just rename it. I'm going to rename it to Dining Out. Click OK. See that renaming it does not change anything here. If you go back to the checking account, it's just called groceries. I wonder if I call it something else. Grocery store spending. Let's see what happens. If I come back to checking, it automatically updates this as grocery store spending. Cool. That's good to know. I didn't know that. So I'm going to rename it back to groceries because that makes more sense to me. So, you can also add money from the ready to assign section, just directly typing into here. So if you want to add $100 into car stuff, you can do that. That removes $100 from here. Let's say that you want to see what you've spent in a specific category. You can actually, this is a little hyperlink. You can click on this and it'll tell you your activity for that specific category. So far on the 20th, we spent $250 and that's the only thing that's there. But let's say that you have multiple lines of transactions. It'll show like 5 or 6 lines at a time. And then I think you can scroll through it. But for car stuff, don't forget, I think it's a very useful feature to have create target. So if you have like quality of life, what is this? No, let's go to goals. So if you have a if you have a goal to go on vacation, so we have a goal to go on vacation. Let's say I need $1,000. I want to have a balance of $1,000 due by October of 2025. I'm going to save this target. It's going to tell me how much a month I need based on today's date and the date that I put as my balance needed. So I need $200 this month to meet my monthly goal to get me $200 a month to $1,000 by October. So the create a target is a super powerful, I think, tool because it calculates what you need for you. And then let's say that I didn't put any money into vacation this month. If I scroll into July, it's going to update that calculation and say, because I didn't put any money in June, we now need $250 a month in order to hit our $1,000 goal by October of 2025. And then it continues. Oh, it doesn't let me scooch forward, I guess, because this is, I wonder why. That's weird. I guess, I don't know why. Weird, because in my other thing, it lets me scooch forward. I'll show you guys my actual account so you guys can see how everything looks. Let's say you need to add an account and it's a debt account. So let's say it's your credit card. It's a credit card. Your current balance is $500. Success, it's been added. It's going to add a different section over here called credit. It's going to show your credit card, negative $500 balance. So if you go to all accounts, it's going to show, we don't have any transactions yet. So your starting balance is $500. Let's say that you got you have $100 that you want to pay towards your credit card. Let's see. So you have a couple of options. You still have money in assigned. You have $600. To pay off part of the credit card, you would select this. You're transferring $100 from your checking account to the credit card. That's going to label it as a credit card payment. You are going to call it inflow because it's moving into your credit card. You're going to hit save. Now it automatically updated that you have only $400 in debt now from your credit card. But let's say I decided to go to TJ Maxx and I went to TJ Maxx, create payee for TJ Maxx. You have to, when you create a payee, you have to, and anytime you're adding a spending, you have to select a category. So I'm going to say it's household, and outflow of the money, $25. I spent $25 in a household budget at TJ Maxx. Hit save. It's going to say here that you overspent $25 because you don't have any money in your household budget. So if you go, let's go back to June. So in household, it's saying that, actually, it's saying you overspent in two categories. So you didn't have any money added here for the credit card payment, and you didn't allot any money for household. So it says here you have sent more money to credit card than you had aside for the payment. So what we need to do is assign $100 to the credit card. It's going to show up here at the top because it's in a negative balance. Assign. That'll zero it out. Now you only have $500 and you overspent in this category. So you can cover the spending from Dine Now or from car stuff or from your ready to assign. You can assign $25 to household and cover that debt so that you are completely even. You want to see as few things in the negative as possible. That means that you're trudging in the right direction to not be in debt. Now, if you click on all accounts, it's going to show your checking and your credit card. So employer, you got money. You paid $100 towards your credit card. You spent $25 at TJ Maxx. You added your payment to your credit card. So you actually put money. It seems like it's showing the expense twice, but it's just because it's collapsing the two transactions. You have a transaction that shows up here that you pay the card, and then you have another transaction in the card category that you paid the card. That's why it shows up twice. It doesn't actually mean that you spent $200. It's just collapsing all the line transactions into one section. And then it shows that you spent $250 in groceries and you had a starting balance on your credit card of $500. See how it splits everything up into outflows and inflows. If you had, let's go to checking. Let's go to credit card and add a transaction from the 19th. Also at TJ Maxx, let's say we spent $50 this time. And if you go to all accounts, you can see that it goes by date. Right now you have it, this little arrow here means that it's ordered by date. So the 19th up to the 20th is what it's going to show. So this is the first, since this is the most distant spending, it's going to go at the bottom. Now let's click on reflect. Now that we have some money, it's going to show you your reflection of what you spend. Household so far is 23% of your spending because you've spent $75. Groceries is the other 77%. Your daily average spending is $10. Your monthly average is $325. Let's see, your net worth, you have more money than you have debt. If you, let's say that you spent, I don't know, you went to Starbucks and you went nuts and you spent, let's see, call it dining out, and you spent $3,000 at Starbucks because we're crazy. Save it. Now it's going to update your debt. You have almost $3,500 in debt. If you go to reflect, it's going to show that your net worth is a negative $825 because you are more in debt than you have cash. So income versus expense breaks that down for you. I don't use this tab very often, so I'm not super familiar with it, but it shows your income versus your expenses. Your age of money, you need to have at least 10 transactions to show the age of the money. So this is what YNAB looks like. Like I said, you can add multiple accounts. You can add a high yield savings account. You can add multiple credit cards. You can add student loans, medical debt, any kind of debt or spending or cash account that you can think of. You can add here and you can rename them. So let's say you named it checking, but now you want to name it something else. You can just click the little pencil next to that account name and you can update the name. You can also, if you change your mind and you want to link the account, you can still link your financial institution. So click link and you can add connection and then you go back to this page. So you can always change your mind, which is nice, and you don't have to start over. So I'm going to take a pause to drink some of my Celsius. So that is most of YNAB in a nutshell. Now I'm going to show you guys my personal, I feel kind of nervous doing this because you guys are going to see basically everything that we have. So be gentle, people, please. Actually, before I do that, you can create a new plan. So for example, if I click here on open plan or if I scroll over it, I have my personal budget. So you guys should know by now that every paycheck that we receive, every paycheck of mine that I receive, I keep $150 for my own personal spending. Every paycheck that my husband receives, he keeps $150 for his personal spending. So I have a budget over here. I'm going to click on it. And this is what my personal budget looks like. And you can see that I have multiple categories. I have this is a good example. Maybe I'll just kind of stick to this instead of my joint one. But you guys can see that I got paid on the 19th. You can see Etsy. I have Etsy payouts. I have money that I transferred from my joint. I made a credit card payment of $256 because y'all, I have a confession. I am personally back in credit card debt because I overspent on my personal credit card, and I won't be out of credit card debt until probably October based on the payment plan that I have designed. And I will be making a video about that. So you can see that on my Apple credit card, I have more than $700 in debt. I have PayPal credit, more than $300 in debt. In total, that's a little over $1,000. So I have zero cash, no cash to be deposited, nothing in Apple Cash, and only $271 in my checking account. So if I go to plan, I have here my subscriptions. These are categories that I made personally. These are not default. So I created a category group for subscriptions. So iCloud every month, I paid like $9.99. Yeah, $9.99. So I have a target of $9.99 needed by the 15th every month. And I added the little emoji. I called it iCloud, and I like to label it based on the due date that I have it on so that I know. And then I typically will order this based on due date. These two up here are yearly. And actually Canva, I'm going to hide this. You can, if you delete it. So the problem with deleting something is that if you try to delete it and you have transactions that you've done in this category before, it's going to make you reassign those transactions to a different place. Or you can hide it and it's going to go to this hidden categories section. And so if you click on hidden categories, it's going to show, you can see like I had a cloth and paper subscription once upon a time. I don't have that anymore, so I hid it. But I had transactions in it, so I didn't want to delete it because otherwise I'd have to reassign those transactions. And that gets very complicated because if you've had a category open for many months and you spend a lot in a specific category, that's a lot of transactions that you're going to have to reassign. So anyway, I'm going to hide this. That's what it looks when you hide it. Now it shows up here in Canva 23rd. You can click on that specific category to unhide it and it'll come back to where it was. But I'm going to hide that again. InShot video editor. I think I need to actually take that to my joint account because it's a business expense and that comes out of joint and not my personal money. But Spotify is personal. iCloud is personal. You can see these are all the credit cards that you list in the credit card section are going to show up in an automatically created category category group called credit card payments. You can rename it. These names are based on whatever you named it here. So PayPal credit, I nicknamed it PayPal credit the 5th because that's when it's due. So, and then you can reorder it as you please. But I have it as, I have it based on date because these are accounts that I use pretty frequently where I have a payment amount. And then Amex Gold is my joint card with my husband. And so if I charge something personal on there, then I will come in here and pay it off. And I did charge something personal. I had to pay off $256 out of personal spending. My cash envelopes in my personal binder. These are all the cash envelopes I have in my personal binder. You can see I have no money allotted to any of them, and I have still $262 approximately to assign. I think what I'm going to start doing is playing savings challenge games instead of automatically assigning them down here. And the saving challenge games will then tell me where I need to assign the money. I think that's a better way of doing it. And then you can always add new category groups, or new categories. There's always a plus sign to add a new category. and you can add it here. And then whatever you add, you can move it around however you like. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be shown. This is pretty, anytime, oh, here's another thing. Anytime you close an account, so I'm going to open this up. This is closed. So I closed our savings account because I was paying money, $5 a month to keep it, and I was not saving any money in it. So I closed it out. If I tried to delete this account, I would have to reassign all of these transactions to a different account. So I marked it as closed. I did not close my Amazon Prime Visa credit card. I just renamed it to something else. I guess I created a category. I created one for PayPal credit, and then I think I decided, I was like, no, I don't need these here. So I closed it, and then I decided that I actually did want them. So instead of, I don't know why I didn't reopen them, but I didn't reopen. I just created new ones. So I keep that collapsed so I don't have to see it. If we reflect, my net worth at the moment is a negative $785. This is what the graph looks like over time of your net worth. You can see that I was doing well, and then I went far down, and then I was doing better, and then I went down again. It keeps track of your monthly changes over here. My age of money is an average of 27 days. So over the last 6 months, 1 year and 2 years, I don't have 2 years of data because I started this account in June of 2024. So in the last 6 months, this is what back in January, my average age of money was only 11 days. So I've gotten a little bit better. 29 days, 27 days. Income versus expense. April, May, June, my average and my total. So Etsy payout, you can see I don't make much money off of Etsy. In April, I made $66. May, I made 15. Yeah. So this is, I made more money in April, and then I spent a bunch of money in May. This is very true. And then I made more money in June, and I haven't really spent anything yet. So that's the income versus expense. Let's see, spending trends. Almost all of my money that I spent in May was for my cash envelopes category. And then spending breakdown. So far, the only thing I've spent is Spotify. So it's a 100% of my spending. Let's see about groups. So now it's called, if I scroll over it, after clicking groups, it's called subscriptions. So that's about it, guys. I don't think I have anything else in my joint that would be different than what I have in my personal. So we can go here. You can see like more, maybe the Apple Card. Yeah, that's about it. Anytime you need to transfer money from one account to another, you have to, so if you add transaction, and on the 20th, I have $271.54 of working balance. Let's say I want to make a payment to my PayPal, and it's going to, because these are accounts that are here, it's going to have some automatic, like payment options, payments and transfer options. To from PayPal credit, to from Apple Card. So let's say I want to make a payment to my credit card, PayPal credit. I would click on the to/from PayPal credit the 5th. It'll automatically select the category. I'm outflowing from my checking account $100. And notice right now I have $318 here in debt. If I click save, it'll automatically update this and create a line item here that I made a transaction of an inflow of $100. But notice that my transaction of $100 inflow is red. That's because when I go to plan, I have not added I have not assigned $100 to PayPal. So if I assign from my ready to assign money $100 here, it's going to zero back out. It's not going to change anything here besides the fact that if I go to PayPal credit, now there's no debt amount. It's not showing that I'm negative $100. So I hope that this was useful for you guys. I truly enjoy my YNAB experience. Actually, let me go ahead. I'm going to show you guys my joint. So joint, I called it Joint 2024 because that's when I started it. It takes a while to load, but see, you guys can see my bills, my subscriptions, all of these follow my binders. So my bills binder has exactly these categories. My debt binder, I have 3 student loans. I just collapsed them into one student loan called student loan. But these are pretty much named based on the envelopes that we have. And guys, I know this says that we have credit card debt here. We do not have credit card debt. This is, I have a running total of all the monies that we spend in the month. And then at the end of the month or by paycheck or whatever it is, I pay it all off. So don't worry, this amount is going to be zeroed out. So, yeah, monthly subscriptions. You can see what's in yellow is because I have a target for it. I need 2 more pennies this month to meet the target that I set for myself. But this is what it looks like when you have a very full YNAB. And you guys will see me talking about, like, in my mortgage, when we planned out our cash planning last month, remember that my total balance was $16.53. So this is what I mean. When I add money in here, everything is to the penny. So everything is spent to the penny. So when I come in here, if something is off in YNAB, that means that it's wrong in my bind. Like if my binders and YNAB are different, that means that my binders are wrong. YNAB is not wrong because I input every single transaction to the penny. It calculates everything for me. I don't have to do math. It just adds it all up for me. Versus my binders are fallible. They're based on me actually removing the money, moving money around manually. So that's why when my binders are off, I use YNAB to get my binders right again. But yeah, so I hope this was helpful. Oh, here's what I said before, that if you click on the negative amount in a particular category, so for dine out, we have, it says here, we've spent dine out and entertainment, we have spent $604 so far this month. And then there's a running transaction of everything that we've input so far across every single spending, like credit we spent on credit cards. So Chase Sapphire, we spent $6.80 at McDonald's on the 1st. Everything else, and then mostly everything else is Amex Gold, but we spent on our Citi card, $42. I guess apparently if you click on it, it takes you right to that line item, which I didn't know. Another thing I learned. So this is what it all looks like, and it runs a tally of your outflows and inflows. Yeah, I hope that this was educational. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that this explains why I love YNAB so much and why I recommend this to everybody that I talk to. I actually just a close friend of mine just told me that she uses YNAB as well. And I'm like, girl, isn't it the best? So don't forget, if you, let me go to YouTube. If you go to my channel and you go into one of my videos. Hi, friends. And you go into the description of my videos, I have the YNAB referral link right here. All you have to do is click on it. It'll take you here. It says, start your free 34-day trial and score an additional month for you and your friend when you subscribe. So you do get your baseline 34 days for free and an additional month if you follow through my referral link. So if you have any questions, friends, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comments. Let me know, and I'm happy to answer them for you. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and a blessed day, month, year, whatever it is that you are enjoying right now. And then I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.